Hey, people of the world. It's my Thursday. I'm happy about that. There's a big party this weekend out in the desert with some Burning Man people and some rednecks, and they're going to be shooting off fireworks and burning stuff and shooting off guns, and it sounds a lot of fun. As a business owner, I can't just walk away for to go shoot guns with weirdos, even though I'd like to. And the only lady I trust with a key to open and close the store is she's kind of sick. So I might call her today and say, "Hey, I'll do some magic mojo to make you feel really good if you come cover my store, so I can play with the weirdos." Last time I called her to work, she was busy watching kids, and and they were gonna they built a giant penis, and they burned it in the desert. And the burn was scheduled for 8 o'clock, and I closed at 8, and she didn't call me back. So I said, well, there's no way I can get out there. I was thinking maybe there'd be a couple of people left out there, and I could say, hey, you're my friends. What's up? Let's do a little dance. Okay, bye. It turns out they didn't even burn that penis until midnight. Oh man! And Trina said, "Come on, burners don't burn on time. Should have known better. Should have gone out there. I wish I would have. No, life is such a beautiful mystery. It's just difficult to know what to do with it. I in a lot of ways envy the people who were raised loving and simple and just want a family and a good life and go through those motions. Of course, they have problems like anybody else, but I think a lot of people, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think a lot of people though don't really have that nagging, "What is this all about?" question. They're satisfied to accept the reality that we've been given and work with it in I, I don't want to be demeaning or insulting, but in some ways it's like there's an unconsciousness to their existence that I envy. um, but what can you do? It's easy to two-dimensionalize a person and say, oh, they've got it so good, oh, they've got it so bad, but it's always a mix. And that's one of the most remarkable things, in my opinion, about humans and humanity in general, societies and cultures, is we adapt. If you drop a person in a hellhole, so to speak, uh, after a couple months of it or a couple weeks of it, it'll normalize. It might not be nice, it might be really horrible, but it will normalize. And they will have this evenness about their temper and mind from which to bounce from. Got a customer. It wasn't a customer after all. It was a Latino man, selling a fake Coach watch. It wasn't a new fake Coach watch, but whatever. It's not my game. I try and be respectful. It's tricky though. Like this one time, I used to be a truck driver. Been on the in big trucks for like 200,000 miles. And at one truck stop, this guy said, "Oh no, man, this is real gold. Look, it's stamped." I said, "Yeah, it's stamped." He's like, "No, no, seriously, man. I work at this. What do you say? I work at a pawn shop. I stole it from the pawn shop." He's trying to sell me fake gold that he's saying is real because what made it real was that he had stolen it from his work. I didn't believe any of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay. I can only give people like that so much evenness of temper before I'm like, get out of here. It's weird though owning a business because like if there's a weirdo out here and I piss them off, they might break my window. That actually happens around here. So you have to be judicious and hopefully get the weirdos on your side. Like there's only been one weirdo that I rubbed the wrong way here. He was a bit of a loose cannon too. I hope not to see him again. Is that People on meth sometimes come up with the weirdest stories. Oh yeah, I'm this super genius. I spend like $3,000 a month in rent for my studio and this and the other thing. Yeah, I got all these bronze stars in the military, and like, they just come up with the wackiest, outlandish stuff. And frankly, as long as it doesn't uh, potentially hurt me, I'll believe anything. Well, at least I'll go along with it as though I'm believing it. And what's so funny about people like that who tell tall tales, if you are willing to believe if you're willing to suspend your disbelief, be like, oh, really? That's really interesting. Their stories become geometrically more outlandish. Like this one time, I was training truck drivers, and this guy had the most unbelievable stories. Truck drivers are known for telling outlandish stories. In fact, it's kind of a stereotype, in fact. And so, because I was training him, when it came time for his little review, I put uh, A-list truck driver in every regard, in every respect. And as I was writing that, I was thinking, yeah, the dude tells tall tales. He basically deserves to be the first-rate truck driver. No, but he could back up the trucks. He could do the real stuff. But he was telling me stories that were there was only one that I was 100% sure was a lie, and I called him on it. He was telling me stuff about, putting a hole in Saddam Hussein's sun. He was talking about how in Black Hawk Down, one of the situations that was in the movie was him. That was him that happened to. He was just telling all sorts of stories, and it was entertainment. It was entertainment. Oh my gosh, life is so beautiful and so confusing. Like, I'm getting all this silver hair. Can you see this? Do you see how silver that is? Holy macaroni. I do fasting sometimes, and one of the great authors was Arnold Ehret, Ehert, something like this, Arnold Ehret. I read a few of his books, and wow, that's really good stuff. I mean, really good stuff. But he did many fasts, multiple over 20 days, and his hair turned from gray back to dark. He had some medical theories that are quite different than mainstream medical science. But he himself had cured an incurable disease in himself and had overseen thousands of fasts of other people. And like I say, he himself had fasted over 20, I think he fasted 40 days and then a couple like 25-day fasts. I've fasted a bunch of times. You know, my longest one was 10 days. That was the most recent one back in December or January. And I'm just now gearing up for another fast. But it's so sort of tricky, because it's just easy to put off. And the weird thing about it is a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and you look back and you say, oh, if I had just started the fast then, I'd be way done with it. Now I'm still not yet started. And I'm going to break this habit, but it seems like the last couple years when I fasted, it's like I'll start and then I'll fast for a day and then I'll eat at night. And then the next day I'll start again. I'll fast for all day and then I'll eat at night. Sometimes I'll fast for 2 days and then start eating like halfway through the second day or whatever. And it's like, I just keep putting it off a little bit. It's like preparation for the real fast. I'd like to do a 21-day fast. I think that would be awesome. We'll see. Do you fast? I think it's one of the great cures. I fasted a couple times for health reasons. So one time I picked up this reoccurring cough. Seriously, from Christmas through March, I was sick. It's like I get better and get worse, get better, get worse, get better, get worse. And finally, and I had fasted several times. I was like, I'm just gonna fast. And I was going to fast for 5 days, which is one of my common times. But I only went 4 days. But I pooped out this law. It looked like a piece of spaghetti or something. I thought it was a mucus thing. It didn't look like a worm in any way. But thinking back, I wonder if it was a worm, you know. But I thought it was maybe some sort of tube that was like in my body, like a mucus tube, part of the lymph system or something that I cleared out. But then, you know, it was gone after that. So I've done that again too. Like I picked up a reoccurring cough from another time, and you know, I know too because it starts in the nose, kind of starts in the, and then goes to the throat, and then goes to it becomes a cough. I've had it like 5 or 6 times, you know, and at least a couple of times, a few times probably I fasted to get rid of it, and it works like a charm. Like seriously, if you have that reoccurring bronchitis cough thing, and you fast for 4 days, done. It's gone. Which it's so inconvenient to fast that it's difficult. But if you have that thing for several months, what is 4 days? Just fast for 4 days. That's what I say. All right. Thank you. Thank you.